I got a robe, you got a robe, all God's children got a robe. When I get to heaven, gonna put on the robe, I'm gonna shout all over God's heaven, heaven, heaven. Everybody talking about heaven, they going there, heaven, heaven. I'm gonna shout all over God's heaven.
I got shoes, yes, oh Lordy.
I got shoes, you got shoes, all God's children got shoes. When I get to heaven, gonna walk on my shoes, I'm gonna walk all over God's heaven, heaven, heaven. Everybody talking about heaven, ain't going there, heaven, heaven. I'm gonna walk all over God's heaven.
I got a crown, yes, oh Lordy.
I got a crown, you got a crown, all God's children got a crown. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my crown, I'm gonna walk all over God's heaven, heaven, heaven. Everybody talking about heaven, ain't going there, heaven, heaven. I'm gonna walk all over God's heaven.
I got a harp, yes, oh Lordy.
I got a harp, you got a harp, all God's children got a harp. When I get to heaven, gonna play on my harp, I'm gonna play all over God's heaven, heaven, heaven. Everybody talking about heaven, ain't going there, heaven, heaven. I'm gonna play all over, gonna walk all over, gonna shout all over God's heaven.
Good afternoon. This next selection is spiritual called I Want to Be Ready to Walk in Jerusalem just like John. And in the early slavery days, there was something called Invisible Church when the slaves would go to the campground meetings and they would hear the hymns sung. They would come back and they would add their African traditions, hand clapping, drumming to those hymns to create the sound that we know as the Invisible Church. We're going to do something similar to that by fusing what would be heard in many congregations in the Black church today, using the A.M.E B3, combining it with the traditional choral sound of a Negro spiritual, and we're going to feature Brother Stanley Brown with that.